Welcome to the Everyday Why channel, where we ask the questions you forgot to ask about the world around you. You know the feeling. You're like standing in a store, you pick up an item, check the tag, and it says $9.99.
And instantly your brain just registers it as cheap.
Exactly. It says $9. Cheap. Let's do it.
Ah.
Even though you are literally one mere cent away from $10. You know this trick, you've always known it, but I mean, it works on you every single time.
Well, that's because it isn't just some, random coincidence. Looking at all the behavioral economics research we've gathered for today's analysis, we can see this is actually one of the oldest, most deliberately designed tactics in human commerce.
So it's heavily engineered.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
We're going to explore the underlying biology of why our brains fall for this, uncover a really surprising historical origin, and examine why simply being aware of the trick isn't actually enough to stop it.
I mean, I get the basic mechanism of it. It's almost like, well, reading a word left to right, our brains are kind of inherently lazy.
Very lazy.
Right, so we see that first number, a 9, and we just make a snap assumption before we even finish processing the sense. Gotta save that cognitive energy.
Precisely. In behavioral science, that's rooted in, well, managing cognitive load. When you're walking down a busy supermarket aisle, your brain simply doesn't have the energy or the time to perform exact math for 50 different items.
There's just too much sensory input.
Right. It takes a shortcut to survive the overload. It anchors onto that leftmost digit, which is a phenomenon called the left digit effect.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that single digit completely dictates your entire perception of value.
Yeah.
So 9.99 just fundamentally registers as like 9 something.
Placing it in an entirely different mental price bracket than $10.
Exactly.
I mean, it makes sense biologically, but surely we aren't that gullible at scale. Like, one single penny dictating mass consumer behavior sounds like a bit of a stretch when real money is on the line.
You'd think 1 penny wouldn't matter. But the research from MIT and the University of Chicago actually proves otherwise. They ran this amazing test where they sold the exact same dress at 2 different prices.
Okay, what were the prices?
$34 and $39.
Well, logic dictates the cheaper dress should sell more.
You'd think. But astonishingly, the $39 dress outsold the $34 one.
Wait, really? By being more expensive?
Yes. The digit 9 acts as this massive psychological trigger, what we call charm pricing. It is so potent that it actually overrode a $5 price increase.
That is insane.
It is. And today, that's exactly why roughly 60% of retail prices worldwide end in a 9.
So if this charm pricing is so dominant today, you'd think, I don't know, some 1950s Madison Avenue ad man cooked it up in a lab or something.
You would think so, but the historical data we're looking at suggests it actually has nothing to do with marketing at all.
Wait, nothing?
Nothing. That's the brilliant historical twist here. Historians suspect it began purely as a theft prevention hack.
Theft prevention. How does a penny prevent theft?
Well, back in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, shop owners started pricing items at $9.99 so that cashiers were physically forced to open the register.
Oh, to hand back a penny in change?
Exactly. That simple mechanism ensured the $10 bill went into the till, ringing up the sale, rather than quietly disappearing into the cashier's pocket.
That is so clever.
Right. It started as an operational security measure and only later morphed into this psychological weapon once retailers noticed the massive sales bump.
Okay, well, let me challenge that rule for a second. If it's this guaranteed sales booster, why don't we see, say, a Rolex priced at $9,999.99?
Because of what we call the luxury shield. Clean, round numbers signal prestige, completeness and high quality.
Whereas .99 loudly screams discount.
Or affordable. Exactly. For a luxury brand, those are the absolute last words they want associated with their craftsmanship. But abandoning the 9 is highly dangerous for everyday retailers. Take the JCPenney disaster of 2012.
Oh, right. They tried to switch to fair and square round pricing, completely eliminating the .99s.
Yes, they did.
So they basically bet on consumer rationality. I figure people would appreciate honest, straightforward pricing.
It cost them 25% of their revenue in a single year.
25%, just from rounding up.
Yep. By removing the .99, they removed the psychological high of getting a bargain. Customers stopped feeling like they were winning, so they just stopped buying.
They took away the game of shopping.
Precisely. So, as a practical takeaway here, when you shop, consciously add that penny in your head. Ask yourself, would I buy this for the round number?
And if the answer is no, you've just caught the trick working on you in real time.
Exactly. And conversely, if you ever sell anything, remember that $49 will almost always outsell 50. In the human brain, how a price feels overpowers what it actually is.
Before we go, just think about this. If a single penny changes how we perceive the value of an object, how does the same charm effect influence how we view our salaries? Does 59,000 feel vastly different than 60,000? Or what about the age on a dating profile when someone turns 29 versus 30? We anchor to that left digit everywhere. Now I have a question for you. Now that you know exactly how this works, do you think you'll catch yourself next time? Or is the 9 and too powerful to resist? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. I read every single one. And if you've ever wondered why something completely ordinary works the way it does, why things exist the way they are, that's exactly what this channel is about. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there.